Alright guys, this week Jaycen Joshua dropped his new plugin Orion together with the Cradle. And basically it's one plugin that replaces the entire drum bass chain Jaycen Joshua developed over the years in his famous template in Pro Tools. And I just counted it and it's 14 different plugins and in total 25 instances. And Orion packs all this together into one plugin. But what the hell is it actually doing? Luckily, I created a while ago the complete original drum bass chain in Waves free Studio Rack plugin. So this is what's basically on the left hand side in the Orion plugin. So we have the famous 8 NLS bass channels, which is the color section here, I guess, or at least I assume that this is what it's meant to be replacing. Then we have our harmonic section, which is basically the Waves RBass, and we have our compressor, which should replace the Shadow Hills mastering compressor, and we have the lift section, and I assume this is what's going on here in the black box. So without further ado, let's check it out. So first I wanted to check out the difference between the color section in Orion and the 8 NLS bass channels. I have a drum loop here I created a while ago, and let's first hear the original one. And now the 8 NLS, and we'll put them all on. And Orion. You clearly hear that it's changing especially the low end and, so to say, also a little bit the length or the sustain of the kick drum. And you also can easily see that if you bounce the kick here, for instance, you see it's getting longer with the NLSs, and it's also doing the same kind of thing with the Orion plugins. Also, I noticed that with the NLSs, you have a little bit of different processing in the left and right channel. That's why you usually pan slightly to the left, I think around 6 or something in the panning. But still you have then slightly differences really in the sub frequencies and in the very high frequencies, which gives it a little bit more of 3 dimension. And this is actually missing in Orion. I also checked this with an analyzer. Okay, now let's add the harmonic section. Let's first again hear the unprocessed. To be honest, I like the original more. It seems like the standard setup in Orion adds a lot more low end and somehow, I don't know, dips the high end a little bit. But now let's also add the compression with the compressor here, and let's see what this is doing. Okay, now let's also add the black box and the lift one, set up to 80% like it is in the original Jaycen Joshua template, and now let's hear the difference. What is also interesting to see, you see the original one is clearly the loudest right now, but both the original template and Orion's really sounds so much bigger and more impactful because of the saturation it adds, and it's somehow clipping the peaks, the transients, and lifts everything up, so it's clearly sounding louder. But still, I have the feeling that Orion is more low-end oriented and lifts up the low end a little bit more, and I wanted to check that. I'm using the free curve analyzer tool from Bertom, and check this out. So right now we have both curves here. The green one is the frequency response of Orion, and the blue one, or the blue and purple one, is the frequency response of both the left and right channel of the original drum bass template from Jaycen Joshua. So this is basically it. I will also bounce these files down and will upload it as uncompressed wave files, and before I will normalize it, so you really can compare the impact of both plugins. So check it out, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and go to pluginplug.io.